Okay, so this is my game. Nebulon Invasion is what I'm calling it as of right now. As you can tell, it's not the vacuum that I originally planned. I started working on that. I just, there's, no inspiration to it. I wasn't really in love with the idea. It's kind of something I couldn't see myself really liking. Um, so last minute changed my whole thing. And I feel like I've gotten a lot of really good progress in this. There's still a lot to do, but with the time frame that I've been giving myself and um, everything that I have to do and how long it took me, because I just switched to this idea. This is my backstory, by the way. But I just switched to this idea literally this past week. So I've only been on this project for a week um, because I just hated the other one, and I didn't want like my blender class where I'm crying and stressed out. So I wanted to give myself something I really actually liked. So with the time frame that it took me to get what I've gotten done now, with work and school and everything, I feel like pretty uh, pretty good about the timeline of what I have to when this is due, because I believe it is due when it is due. Yeah, it's due the 13th, so I've got plenty of time for this. Okay, so let me just get into it. So basically, since you don't know my storyboard now, basically the concept of this game is that everything is alive. This character, this skeleton will not be here, and this is not going to look like this. I'm using this wall for testing of the character, creating the coding, and all of that. So I got this pretty awesome package. Wait, whoops. Pretty awesome asset called Super Grotto Escape, and really cool concepts, the tile work, all of that. So it kind of helped me formulate a really good idea of. It starts with this one character where basically you see this character, and he. I don't have a name for him yet because I just made him, but oops. But he basically is on a foreign planet that's uninhabited. There's no life forms whatsoever. Um, and um, he's walking, like you're learning how to get back to the basically like there's like going to be a sorry, this video is going to be really long, but basically you are walking back. There's like going to be a text box probably right around here of someone talking to you on your radio, telling you like, okay, like we're going to get you back home. You got all the important valuable whatever thing you need, and about right here is where it's going to change, and there's gonna be an explosion from this. Nope, not the explosion, my bad. It's gonna be the somewhere. I have to find it. I should have had this prepared. um why can I not find it right now? Huh. I have to find that, but there's basically a force field explosion kind of thing. It's gonna knock him down. um so from here, and again, I do apologize, this is very long because I know you have no idea what the story focus is. But from here, basically, he's gonna go him over, and because there's gonna be a portal from the props, I believe it's in the props. Yeah, this portal gate right here. It's gonna be here. He's gonna go across. Big boom. He's gonna fall down. So he's gonna go down the tunnel, and he's gonna land. And then from here, there's gonna be this little the little drop down from the person again. They're gonna say, "Are you okay?" Whatever your name is. Um, and the reason I switched to this too is I could see myself writing a better dialogue story, which is something I like. So I decided to switch to this because I liked the shooter style of the kind of like Stardew Valley 2D kind of looking games, but as well as having like a story as well. So about right here, it's gonna say, just keep walking down, about some yards away, or whatever it is. There's going to be another portal, and you should be safe to get there. And as he walks through, you know, um, he's gonna kind of walk through. There's not gonna be any enemies right here. There's gonna be some more of these props. It's gonna look a lot better than this, I promise. But it's basically he's gonna get across, go through, and then this is where there's gonna be the drop. And from here, because the run is pretty fast, so I timed it with the running. It's pretty fast. I have this hole, or I have this hole when I was testing it right about here. I was testing how fast it would take. It's pretty fast if you shift, and there'll be some like little hint buttons that the player floating plates that the player can interact with, or the terminals, my bad. And then when he gets down to here, he's gonna jump down, and the person's gonna say, well, you know, it's a big drop. Might as well take a leap of faith, or maybe that'll be internal, to be determined. Right here, though, is when he's gonna see enemies, and he's gonna go, oh my gosh, you know, there's things that are alive, blah blah. So there's gonna be enemies here. This is all gonna look a lot better, I promise. And like I said, with the time frame, the tile map is pretty ingenious, or you know, easy to work around. I've had a pretty good help with learning how to do this in regards to like tutorials and things like that that have taught me about backgrounds. So there's a collision layer, a background, and then a mid one for the bridge. I had to do a mid one because the bridge handles, they were going behind the, or in front of the character, and I didn't want that. Um, so essentially right now what I've got is one of my enemies. A I do have a couple other enemies that I want to get implemented. I don't know if I want to use the ghosts or the fury. I definitely do want to use more skeletons. And then where did he go? I put him up here because I was about to make him the lizard guy. So the lizard is one that I am going to be using as well because he is freaking cute. And I think it's kind of a cute concept of everything's alive. So anyways, let me get into this more. So right now I've got, where am I? Okay, so right now I've got my character, I've got animators. My player has a lot more animators because this guy right now, he's basically just doing this. You'll see like kind of like an idle motion when I stand on top of him because there was no attack for this guy. So my thought was that if he is in this idle motion, he's basically is when he's doing the health damage. And if I stop, let me go down here to show you. So there's the health, max health, and I'll show the code as well. You'll see that whenever the cooldown time it hits you, he gets 10 points of health loss. So there's some health loss that's going to be in there, and there's going to be some props to pick up for health benefits later down the road. That'll be something I'm adding tomorrow. And so basically the ground does very make sense. I don't need to explain that. The player, he has definitely a lot more of the states. He's got more like his ground states, his idle and his run, and then he's got his air state, which is his jump and his fall motion. I don't know if I showed that well, but the fall, especially if I get up here, so you'll see he falls for a good bit. The one thing I don't like, and I've tried forever to fix it, I'm gonna have to, it'll be one of those final touches where I don't think it'll be necessary for the game for the purposes of what it's the perfectionist in me, but when you jump onto a wall, he kind of gets stuck, but I tried to make it where he could double jump then, but I haven't been able to figure that one out yet. So let me go here. So this game also was kind of hard because it had no, it was very hard writing the C+. I've never really used this coding type before. So I've got, let's see, where's my, okay, so my player, okay, so here's the player, all of the stuff I've got right now. I've got how his movements are working. I had a problem with him facing right and left, so I got that taken care of. His running speed, the shooting was the hardest. That took the longest. Getting the, oh, I didn't even show that. Getting the shooting animation, wrong screen. Getting the shooting animation took the longest to figure out, but I did get it. Although it is bigger on this side than that side, I have to figure out why. I think it's because I updated the prefab and I didn't update it in the, I don't know, that's very weird. I just noticed it. That'll be like a last minute perfectionist tweak, but you'll see on this way a little bit better how much bigger, and it hits the hitbox, and the character does that idle movement whenever I hit him. So with that, let's see what else. So that was this part right here. Let's see. I also had some detection zones of detecting like the collision. The reason why that is here, that tile map is here, or that tile box is there. Oops. It's because I'm on the wrong one. Okay, so because it's there, it's something I have to implement. I haven't really focused on it yet because I've been trying to get all the other mechanics down within the past week. But you'll notice he'll hit the walls. However, you will notice that the character, it doesn't stop at the end. He just falls right off. So that's something I'm going to be implementing. I have a couple of the floats or I think these were the floats. Yeah, no, these are the bowls. And I also have to get with the player, I'm working on getting the death animation and respawn kind of trigger. So that is something I have to work on my list of things to do. And this guy as well, his explosion state is also not complete. It looks like this. If I do... let's see. Sorry, this is very long. Is alive. Let's do false. And then let's do 0. So if I do have him die, it was working. That's concerning. Oh. I was say it should have the death script. I'll have to fix that because I did get it. I was having an issue where he was moving. Oh, wait, hold on. There we go. Okay. So it does that. I know it's kind of short, but that'll be the death where they remove. I had a thing where I had an issue with the character still moving, like left and right, even though he was dead. So that I found out with the, I got that with where did it go? Oh, state machines, the death state. So I was able to get that with that. Just a lot of cleaning up of my code to do still. The projectile took the longest because I've had to learn how to do debugging on Unity to get it to actually show me it was working. So there's a lot of things in there as well. And then that was, again, with the whole ceiling and touching of the walls. I tried to fix this forever. That'll be like a last minute, if I can fix it, not a huge deal kind of thing for me at this point. So that is the main thing. I know it's not the best and it's not my original, but with starting this, because I started this on the 18th, so I feel pretty confident with how much I've gotten done since then to be able to finish this and get the final touches before the 14th or whatever day it is that we have to turn it in. So with the timeline that we have and everything I will list in the text to do, I feel pretty good. And thanks for watching.